Welcome back to that Heartbreak Hogs podcast. We are back and we're here to talk about the game over the weekend versus Alabama A&M and then moving forward to Arkansas State. I ended up being able to watch the game. I was afraid I was going to miss it because I was at the beach. Was able to catch some of the Texas game and then got to watch pretty much all of the Arkansas game, and then since then I've watched some highlights, watched some breakdowns, DJ Williams breakdowns, which are awesome. But Sid, what was your take on the game? Were you able to catch any of it? Were you able to catch some highlights? What's your overall feel on
Um,
things?
no, only updates I got from while the game was happening was from you, Ross. Just the text messages coming in because I didn't have any Wi-Fi from the place I was at, but
So you only
I
got
did
my
get to see.
text.
I was seeing your text
Our defense looks terrible.
live feedback. Honestly, yeah, I should go look at this for the fans. Is It was like minute by
You should
minute.
say these were very in the moment reactions.
Yeah. Our defense is going to be bad. Dot dot dot. Defensive line sucks. Exclamation mark.
That was the first drive. That was after the first drive. I
Yeah,
calmed down a little bit after, but that
yeah, I see that. Talon is an athlete, man. Bobby P, year two, looking good. Defense, and that pretty much sums it up. um, and me watching the highlights, I agree. I can attest to all of that. It did start off kind of on a scare there, but
yeah.
as we got settled into it, saw we were more comfortable. And I mean, I know it's Alabama A&M. That's how it should have been from the get go. But it's start of the season, so first game. So as long as like the first game jitters, maybe whatever it was, once they settled in, they look like a solid team. So
Yeah.
nothing to complain about. Now I am worried. Like you said in your text, I am worried about the defense still, which we'll talk about. But offensively, I think we look pretty solid, and I liked our weapons. And I mean, Taylor Green looked better. Again, it's Alabama A&M, so
Yep.
take it with a grain of salt. But overall, I mean, once the team settled into it, it was easy to get behind them.
Right. Yeah, and like you said too, it's kind of hard to take too much from this. Like here's the other thing too. If the defense would have played really good, like we would have blanked them. We still don't know. Our defense
Right.
blanked Alabama or Arkansas Pine Bluff last year, and we went 6-6 and had some terrible games defensively. Um,
Right.
and yeah, so like, and you were saying, uh, the offense looks good, but again, the offense looked good against UAPB last year. I do think this is a better team than UAPB was, but we don't really know. It was cool to go look at the offense though, real quick. It was cool seeing. Did you see the stat? 6 different receivers received a touchdown
Mm-hmm.
pass. That is really cool to see. That they're spreading the
Mm-hmm.
ball. He's passing the ball. That's good. I really like that. And it shows that from what I could tell, he looked more comfortable and he looked more he was the captain. He was making adjustments. He was looking through reads and he just looked a lot more comfortable this year. But where before it looked like he was forcing things. He was trying to remember things. He was, trying to force it in there into things that, he just because he had to think too much. Now it's starting to look like that this is, his thing, that he's identified with the offense, in my opinion. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have to see when they face better competition. And one quick thing before I hand it off to you is the running backs need to be able to block for Talon. There were some
Mm-hmm.
plays that DJ Williams pointed out where some good blocks were made and then some really key missed blocks by the running back where Talon just got slaughtered by either a linebacker or a defensive end. And it's just like, you guys got to make that block, because if Talon keeps getting hit, that's whenever he's going to start thinking and not playing as well, because he's going to be like, hey, is there a guy behind me that's going to tackle me because a guy missed a block? I mean, this offensive line, and I'm including the running backs in this when they need to block. That offensive line, that front needs to block. That was one of the takeaways that I took too from this offense is Ole Miss gets to you a couple times, that could really change your confidence level. But hopefully they get a lot of this fixed in the Arkansas State game. What about you, Sid? After my long tangent.
Yeah, no, I agree to that. I just think that Taylor Green, I still have some concerns in the his ability to run is great. He's fast.
Right.
And so sometimes with him being that fast and escaping the pocket, it's comfortable for him and it works. It's just when he runs and with that speed, it's hard for once he leaves that pocket, it's hard for that blocking to continue, right? Because he is that fast and has that escapability where we need a running back more so than, or even a fast defensive lineman, which is tougher to say because they just can't keep up with him. I mean, if he's one of our fastest guys on the field, it's more about him escaping the pocket. And if he were,
that's a good point, man.
It's a different case if he stays in the pocket and they're still not able to block for him. Right. That's a very different case. But once he's able to get out, it's going to be tough blocking for him. And at that point, it's going to be what happens, right? And how often does he do that? Because I think that speed right there for him is going to be is his like X factor up until a certain extent. Now, if he's by himself and they're all chasing him and they got him covered, he's not going to be able to outrun them. So I think it's going to depend on like which, I mean, I know again we keep saying it's Alabama A&M, but I liked what this game showed me was his passing ability and putting it directly in their arm, in the hands, in tight spots.
And he was leading them. It wasn't behind him. It was like in front. It looked better. I know like we're going to keep saying Alabama A&M, but still like at least the balls were either two in front, or right on the money, and no receivers were dropping balls. We didn't have one of those Brodens out there.
Yeah, even on the run, he was able to put it directly in the tight spot. So that was great to see. I just think that we're going to need more of that. And then also on top of that, the concerns from last year, where sometimes it's okay to throw away the ball. If there's nobody open, it's okay. You don't have to run for that extra yardage. And so we didn't see much of that this game, but I do see still concerns that will happen with how he played. He was able to get out of like the pocket and get some positive yardage in this one. It was, I think, 4th down where he did throw it away. But like, I think it's really going to be like situationally. And as we get to SEC play, what he does in terms of if he's going to run, he's got to be able to at least make sure he's not getting negative yardage. Or like you said, we're going to need people to block for him, but we also got to realize his speed is going to take over. So what I have in terms of offense, I mean, I also wanted to bring up Omega Blake. Solid like outing from him. And it was just pretty cool to see. And I hope he continues that. I know you mentioned 6 different receivers. So there were 6 different touchdowns from 6 different receivers. And that was cool to see. But I think he stood out to me more so because of that connection with Talon and then being able to just get open.
Being the guy. It looks like that he's
number one, right?
When you need somebody to step up, look his direction.
Exactly. And he was able to get in the open area and be able to catch those passes. So I hope he continues that. And I think that's what I have to speak about the offense.
Yeah. Hey, and that's a good point too about the blocking is really important. And if your receivers and your tight ends and other players realize when they need to start blocking and if they are good at blocking, it really extends the play. Really extends the play. And that's something that Petrino likes is he wants his tight ends to be able to block because it allows holes to open for the wide receivers and other guys running the ball after a catch or through a run or whatever it is to have all that space. I mean, did you see how wide open all those wide receivers were getting? Now,
Hmm.
that could just be A&M Alabama A&M had a terrible defense. Could be, but it's still a really good sign that multiple receivers are finding ways to get open, create space. I'm really interested to see if that continues with Arkansas State. Um, it's exciting to see what the offense can do, and with the defense, we're just going to have to wait and see.
Hmm.
I think this game will be a fairly good indicator. Is Arkansas State going to put up 21, 24 points, or are they going to put up 7, or are they going to get blanked? Is the defense getting tackles for losses? Are we getting sacks? Those are the things that are really going to, show what we're
I mean,
made
if
of.
Arkansas State gets blanked, that would be very surprising to me
I
and
know.
um, very like promising. I would say that would be the
Right.
most promising thing I can see coming out of this game if that
Hmm.
happens. But outside of that, even Arkansas State, I don't see um, much takeaways from that. Obviously, more so than Alabama A&M,
Right.
but I do
It'll
hope
tell a
that
little bit.
yeah.
I think that I really like how they scheduled this where I mean I like where you get an easy opponent and then one step above that. And then you go on the road for real competition. And no disrespect to Arkansas State, that's not what this is about. I'm more talking about power conference or in conference competition.
Mhm.
But last year we started out with UAPB, and then you have to play Oklahoma State. I know Oklahoma State ended up deflating and not being very good, but still, I think that there was a big talent difference between going to UAPB. You get your egos inflated and things, and then you have to play a real team. Where we're playing two warm ups, if you will,
I wouldn't
rather than
consider
just one.
yeah, I would be careful with that statement. And so that Arkansas State, I agree,
Well,
is
I'm not
not
telling them
going
to
to
look
be
at them as warm ups. I'm saying, like, as
right.
fans, I would rather us play two lower opponents for us to clean things up and learn versus having to play higher competition early. I mean, look at how bad Texas looked at times and look at how bad Ohio State looked at times. Alabama, Notre Dame. It's because these were game ones, and a lot of these teams are going to change week to week to week. I hope Texas keeps slumping, but they're probably going to get it together and end up being pretty dang good. Even though
Right.
they looked like crap, but it was game one. It was in a hostile environment. I like that we're playing two non-hostile situations where you can get in the flow of in-game situations, and then you can also not be too pressured where, shoot, if I'm down 7-0, 10-0, we have the athletes to figure it out and make sure that, we're prepared for the next go around versus Oklahoma State started making a run and it was just like, oh shoot, we haven't been in this type of situation before. We've only played 1 week of football. I don't know. That's just my take on it.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if this type of scheduling gets us a big win in week 3. That's
Mm.
kind of what I'm getting at here is this might be a perfect recipe to get that win in week 3. Everybody wants those big matchups early on, but man, I'm glad we didn't play a big game week 1 because like it's just so risky. I like being 1-0 and watching Texas at 0-1. Like
Right.
I know it was, but it's still kind of like, hey, they're the attention of how crappy they looked and how overrated a Manning was when it was pretty obvious
Mhm.
the guy had been on the bench for 2 years. What did you think? Anyway, not gonna get into that, but not gonna. I may call it all off season, but anyway. So you want to move on to Arkansas State, or do you want to tag in on or expand on anything? Did you disagree with anything that I was saying earlier?
No, I agree with what you said about our schedule, and then just to add on, I mean, not add on, but just to like reiterate, our defense for this game is going to have to kind of show us something a little bit more, because this is not going to be as easy as the Alabama A&M game, but it's not going to be as tough as the Ole Miss game as well. So it's a room for them to settle in more. This specific game and kind of like get ready for the season. And this is going to be a true showing in if they are ready or if they're going to fall back, take a seat, and rely on the offense for the rest of the season.
Right. I agree. One other thing is I do think that they were holding back on some things. They took out some players early on. Is his name Mike Washington? I think it's Mike Washington, the running back. I just know his last name is Washington. It's either
Mike Washington.
It is Mike. Okay. He was really good. I think he only got like, I can't remember how many carries he had, but he didn't have very many. They pulled him. I think that they are saving some of their big gun plays and big gun players for Ole Miss. I think that they're going to keep things fairly simple. And either that can bite you in the butt or that can really help you. I mean, remember the year we beat Texas 2 or 3 years ago, whenever it was, we beat Texas. The game before, we looked like crap against Rice. I'm pretty sure it was Rice who we played before. And it was like tied at halftime. And the second half, we finally pulled away. It turned out that we were just hiding a lot of what we were going to do to Texas. Where Texas came in there and they walked into an absolute hornet's nest. They saw things that they hadn't seen on tape and all of this stuff, where I'm wondering if we're kind of doing that strategy with Ole Miss, and I'm interested to see how simple the offense looks and how much we see some of our big-time players if we start scoring. Like, are they going to start pulling some of our guys early if we start taking a big lead? So what's your take on that? Do you think that they're going to be do you think that they did hide much? Do you think they will be hiding more stuff for this coming game? Or what do you think?
I think this
the plan
is a very,
has been and will be?
I think this is a very tail and green game. And that this was for him to kind of like for Bobby to show that Taylor Green is the guy, and to show that he's going to be our guy and get the fans to kind of get rallied behind him more so. And I think that's maybe why I was seeing Mike Washington got the same amount of carries Taylor Green had. 9. They both had 9, and then Braylon Russell got
I was thinking it was under 10.
Then.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Braylon Russell got 11. It's just so less carries than what I would have thought. But again, that makes sense in that if Bobby P was really showing that, hey, I want everybody in the state and every Razorback fan to rally behind our quarterback, Taylor Green, and to kind of showcase what he has in this game to kind of for rest of the season. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we'll utilize Mike Washington and Braylon Russell as the season goes on.
Yeah.
And
I'd be surprised if we pass as much.
Like, we can't just solely rely on Taylor Green, right? So we are going to have to switch it up and continue that where they're not expecting just Taylor to take off with the ball every time.
Right.
Now, with his speed, we mentioned sometimes that is good, where it's a designed run for him and it works because his speed. And so as long as we utilize and Braden Russell and Mike Washington are able to show up, that's when that designed run really is going to be more impactful for Talon. If he keeps doing that, if we just continue utilizing him and he's the only one that's effective, eventually it's going to run out. Isolet's going to run out. And he's going to continue getting stopped.
Yeah, I'm interested just to see how different the running numbers are against Arkansas State. Are they still going to try to pass, run, pass, run? Or is it going to be, run, pass, run, like depending on depending on how long the yardage is, that they need to get it first. But I am just curious because Petrino does use the run because when you get an effective run game started, it really opens up the pass game. And if they think that you're just going to keep passing, it's going to get harder to pass. And I don't know how hard you want it for Talon Green to pass the ball, and I'm also wondering, are they going to have more designed run plays for Talon? Because they're also trying to conserve him. They don't want him to get hurt. Because if he gets hurt, oh, man. KJ Jackson looked good, but Talon Green is what you need. He's a difference maker when he's on. He's a difference. Big playmaker written all over him.
Yeah, we just can't rely on that. Sometimes Talon makes some silly mistakes, right? In terms of just not going down, thinking this is the last ball. We need to get this extra inch when he could have easily gone down, been safe, and moved on to the next play. Sometimes he needs to stop doing that. I do like his passion, but his passion is potentially going to get him hurt. So, sometimes as a quarterback, he's got to understand that and just kind of go down and take a safe fall and move on to the next play.
And speaking of passion, man, that's a interesting point as well. Talon was more of a quieter guy last year. He was, he'd be there for his guys, but he was kind of like the chill guy that went up to him and was like, "Hey man, what's up? How you doing? What do we need to improve on here? Are you liking everything? Is there anything I can do better?" Now, and I think this was something I keep giving DJ Williams all this praise over here, but he did talk about this where he had a talk with Talon Green and said, "Look, man, you got to be more passionate, more fiery out there. Get onto your guys, be more vocal." And I don't know if the highlights showed it, but he definitely showed a clip of Talon getting on a running back, or it may have been a tight end, but it was somebody who missed a block. And Talon went over there and he told him, "You got to make this block. Hey, man, what are you doing?" And I love that. I want him to get up in people's faces and bring that energy, that passion, that excitement. We need a vocal quarterback. I love having vocal quarterbacks. Those quiet guys, sometimes they're cool, but you need that energy. You need that spark. You need that guy that can just spark everything up and take them down to the field, take them down the field and score. And
that side, as a leader, you need that for sure. And that side of the passion is what is great and exactly what they need. I'm talking about when he runs into the defense without taking a safe, without running out of bounds.
He tries to hurdle him. Or
the highlights, I saw somewhere, I'm like, just run out of bounds. You're already there. You already got the first down. Just run out of bounds. Nope. Goes to take a hit and takes a massive hit. Now, this is the first game. As the games go on, as the competition gets tougher, those hits are going to be brutal.
They're going to take a toll.
So I'm careful. I'm careful on that too.
And another thing you mentioned that was really big here is not taking the big sacks, throwing the ball away. I do remember one specific play where he ran backwards about 10 yards on third down and he got sacked. I think that's when we made the field goal. I think that's when we made that really long field goal, which is nice to see we got a kicker. That's always good. Special teams are always kind of the neglected area where so many games can come down to 2 points or 3 points, and you need a guy that can go out there and kick it. And it
Mhm.
looks like that we may have that guy. We need to see him in other situations, but starting one on a 53-yard field goal, I'll take it, man.
Mhm.
But yeah, got to be able to learn to throw the ball away, and especially on third down, don't take sacks for 10 plus yardage, like double, what do you call it? Double digit yardage losses, you know? So, yeah, I just wanted to shout out that you had said that earlier and bring that back up, because that was like a really good point that really needs
Mhm.
to be highlighted, because that happened a lot last year. And it would just be like,
Mhm.
dude, why is he running 15 yards backwards? You know, and then it's just like, if you're out of the pocket 15 yards away, throw it out of bounds.
Yeah. Like, I know you're
You
fast,
know,
but you're not gonna
yeah,
outrun the entire
like,
team.
yeah. He did
When
sometimes, but a lot of the times it was
Yeah,
a
but when you're
sack.
15 yards back, yeah, exactly like you just said, that's that much putting pressure on you, especially when they're about to come get you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I think we've beaten the horse on Alabama
Yep.
A&M, and um, do you have any last thoughts on like Arkansas State and what to expect? I think we already
Well,
touched on it a little bit as well.
I want to see no interceptions from Talon. I'm also curious to see if we have any turnovers offensively, and do we force any turnovers defensively? Um, Again, this defense, the defense is what we're going to have our eye mainly on. Are they getting sacks? Are they getting tackled for losses? Are they getting interceptions? Are they forcing fumbles? What are we doing here on defense? And then offensively, for me to say, okay, this offense is better, I want to see Talon keep throwing to multiple wide receivers and no turnovers, especially not a pick six like what
Yeah.
happened in Oklahoma State. So let's see what the turnover situation looks like in this game. I don't really want to dive too much in the whole should Arkansas and Arkansas State play. I grew up in Texas. I did grow up a Razorback fan, but I never really had that passion for this game. It is, I'm sure it's an exciting moment for people that live in the state. To me, it's just kind of another Sun Belt team, but I do see like, hey, don't lose to an in-state school at within Arkansas. Like, don't lose to these guys. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, I don't. I really like, as I called in the first last week before when we were doing season predictions. I still think this is going to be a closer game than we think. Um, I do expect a W, but I still think it's going to be a closer game than we think because of Arkansas State is gonna show up. I just hope that we are solidified enough in ourselves and are calm, collected, and just take care of business.
right.
Don't let any emotions out there take over. Just take care of business, like you
Just be
said
them.
earlier. Don't make silly mistakes. Don't get injured. This is a second week, and it is going to be a passionate game against in-state school that is not like a rivalry, but it is for the fans that live in Arkansas.
Right.
Um, there is that sort of Arkansas versus Arkansas State, and
We
um,
better not be the losers of the first match.
exactly. So um, exactly. So just
Yeah.
I would say don't go all out and in that. I don't know. All I'm gonna say is just take care of business. Don't get hurt and be smart. Like we talked about earlier, especially for Taylor Green, we're gonna need him all season. So this game, he's gonna show. I fully believe that he's gonna show out and he's gonna be passionate as he was last week. But run out of bounds sometimes.
Yeah.
Take it down. Throw it away. It's
Right.
okay. Get the next play, but continue making some of the same passes I saw him make last week, if he continues making those same passes and has the same speed that we already have, the design runs work,
We should be good in good shape.
we should be good. I do expect our running backs to show up a little bit more so than they did last week, and I'd hope so.
Yeah, good point.
In this game, to kind of get their juices flowing as well before Ole Miss.
Yeah, I want to see Ty Washington pop one off. Like
Mhm.
there was one play that he just got tripped up in the last minute, and he was about to run one off. He's gotten a lot of hype over the off season as well. He looks good. He looks really good. So it'd be cool to, like you were saying, with the run game, get some of those guys, get a big play.
Show us something more than for us to be thrilled about for going into Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Because as we recall, I have no doubt that Arkansas State's going to show up and it's going to be a close game. But prove me wrong. Prove me
defense is going to be huge.
Defense, you are able to show up.
We're all going to be watching for that defense. We'll all be watching
because that's really going to tell me what I expect from Ole Miss and for the rest of the season, especially just the next game. But that's I'm expecting more so from the defense than I am from the offense.
That's the number one thing everybody's going to be looking at is the defense. Like we're going to be interested in the offense. We're going to be excited for it. But like when the defense takes the field, that's whenever we get serious. And we're going to be like looking and going like, okay, how does that defensive line look? Okay, is the secondary getting beat? Okay, like, just like things like that. Defense, don't let us down, like Sid is saying. Sid, what does this team have to do for you to be confident going into Ole Miss? What happens? What needs to happen for you to be very concerned and just being like, I don't know if they're better than last year?
I think for me to be confident going into Ole Miss is going to take a lot. And I don't even know if it's going to be enough from this Arkansas State game. But I would say let's start with the domination. If we do dominate, it's going to get me to potentially lean more towards the confident side of being able to beat Ole Miss, or at least keeping the game close. If this game is close, if this game is like, if I'm on the edge of my seat where I don't know what's going to happen, that's not going to give me any confidence toward Ole Miss. So I would say total domination is what would lead me towards that scale of confidence towards going into Ole Miss and being able to beat Ole Miss.
Yeah. No, that's a good point, man. If it is close, it will be a little concerning. I'll give it. I might. It just depends on how it all looks. Like if it just looks like that Arkansas State has a bunch of passion and that they are just running their tails off, and it's close, it could just be for, that they're playing their hearts out. Like basically, whenever we were terrible, and we would compete against A&M, or we would compete against even LSU at times when LSU was much better, and it would be a one-score game. But it would not be a confidence booster. It would be like, I don't know if I can take too much from this, but it doesn't make me confident. Like you said, the only way I would be more confident is if Arkansas blasts them. Because if they blast them, I do feel like that it's going to be hard to blast them. Like Arkansas State is going to come in there pumped up. This is in a way their Super Bowl. That is the reality of this. So in my opinion, it does say something if Arkansas blasts them. I just feel like that out of other Sun Belt teams, this would be,
right. Plus,
Arkansas State has more to play for.
Right. Plus, playing in a neutral field in Little Rock.
Right. And it would
kind
show
of
me
like
that we're focused, like that
yeah,
we're
it's
not
kind of a
thinking
game
ahead.
away from home
Right.
for us. And so it's not going to be as crazy and as big as Ole Miss being
Right.
like an away game, but this is like kind of a
No.
taste of that.
Yeah, and don't overlook it. Like if they go in there and take care of business, to me that shows that this team is locked in and they're not getting distracted by little things.
Hmm.
That's another takeaway from it is, do they look like they're distracted or does this team look locked in? Because that'll say a lot. Excuse me. That'll say a lot in my opinion. Is how locked in are they? So, anything else you want to touch up on before we head out of here? I think we hit a lot.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot for this one game from Alabama A&M. We'll just hope that this weekend we're able to see something more confident, more of a confidence booster for us
Just
coming out of this
progression.
weekend, and just a
Yeah.
progression exactly for us to talk about next week and before Ole Miss. I want to be able to talk about
The possibility of winning.
come into the video, the possibility of us winning, or even
Yeah.
just like, yeah, an argument. Like, I don't want us both to come in next week and be like, well, we're playing Ole Miss this week, and we have zero hope, right?
Zero. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's pretty much
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I think that this game will give us a little bit better of an indicator than game one. I think after this one in our belt, we'll see some more of what they're capable of doing. And then we can also tune into Ole Miss and look what they're doing. But I think that this will show a pulse. Like this will kind of give you an idea of who they are. And I'm telling you now, man, if we start out 0-10, 0-14, or something like that, and they still manage a way to win, even if they thump them after that, if they thump them after that, where it ends up being 42-17, but it started out 14 or 10-0.
Mhm.
That to me would be very concerning, and that I want to see Arkansas start up 7-0, and then continually build on that lead. That's what I want to see. If I see Arkansas State, if they get the ball first and they score, I don't like it, but it's like it's the first drive. Sometimes the first drive is just a mulligan. But like if they're up 2 scores and our offense looks flat and the team looks flat, that to me is just like these guys they're checked out. They're not, and this is no different than other teams that have been under, the Sam Pittman era of they're just not focused enough, on the little things and getting things done. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got left for takes and what I want to see. Any last things you want to beat? Any more dead horses over here, Sid? Or are we good?
Yeah, I think we're all good for this week, man.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button, comment down below. We'd love to engage with new viewers and people that are currently subscribed. It means a lot. We love talking about the Razorbacks, and we're excited to see where this season goes. Hopefully, we see some really good things in this next game, and we have a lot to talk about for the Ole Miss matchup. So we'll see you guys next week.